welcome to the very first episode of Blahber. Thank you for coming on this podcast. We are going to have so much fun together. This podcast is going to be about everything you can think of. It's all the thoughts that go on in my head that I would like to dish out. And currently there is just so much. I just turned 26. My birthday was last month. I'm a March baby. And my God, it's been a very different birthday this year. Seriously, I did not expect myself to be so calm. Every birthday, or maybe like a week before my birthday, I start panicking because I realize that I'm turning 1 year older and I need to make this day as special as possible, as big as possible, and have a million of my friends come in and love me and just worship me for one whole day. Is that too much to ask for? No. Yeah. So I turned 26. And this birthday, in comparison to my 25th birthday, which was a huge milestone for me, and I believe in my milestones. So your 16th birthday, I don't know about 16 birthdays, a sweet 16, it doesn't make sense in India. So your 18th birthday, your 21st birthday, and your 25th birthday, and iske baad mein seedha 30th. But I'm going to talk about this year because it felt like a milestone. It felt like an emotional milestone. For the first time in my life, I did not feel the need to receive external validation. Whoa. Yeah. My birthday came on a Wednesday, so I woke up not expecting much. Everybody's working. I had a lot of work to finish off that day, so I woke up, same old routine, brushed my teeth, did some yoga, meditated, showered, and all of that, and got started with my day, got some work done. I didn't have to travel anywhere. That was a good thing. So I just had to sit in my pajamas and get shit done. So I did that. My whole plan was to get my nails done. They came off yesterday only, my nails. I don't know. I'm lately very obsessed with having my nails done. And it's a very recent thing. I've never gotten my nails done before. So for me, it's a very recent obsession. It's okay. I can afford that. So it's fine. 26. So yeah, I decided to get my nails done. I called up my girlfriends. I asked them, do you guys want to join me? I did not expect them to join me because it's a Wednesday. But they both were up for it. And these friends, these two girls in my life are so special. We have been friends for around 8 years, I guess. But we will talk about them someday. I want to talk about them someday. There's so much I want to tell you guys. But let's just begin. Let's just talk about this day. Okay? So we got our nails done. And nothing special. We just went there. I spent 3 hours getting my nails done, and then we went out to have some momos. Yeah, I love momos. I really do. And I've fallen in love with them since the first bite. So Simran knew this place. Simran, one of my friends. Simran knew this place in Bandra. And she's like, let's go. I feel like eating something. Let's have momos. So we went there, had some momos, got some yogurt. I even love froyo so much. So we got some froyo and then I went home. That was my day. That's it. I didn't do anything else. And I didn't have like a lot of friends come around, throw a party for me, which used to happen almost every year. That didn't happen this year. Did not mind it. I was so happy. I've never been this content in my life. And it was nothing. But let me tell you, I didn't stop there. I'm very understanding, but I need my day. So I decided that I will create a new game, a new bar game, and I'm going to call all my girlfriends for this bar game night on that very weekend. So I called up all my girls, not just my close friends, but also girls who I have just met once, acquaintances. So I know them, but I don't know them. So I don't, that's way out of my comfort zone, but I still called them up. And I requested them, please come. This will be a great opportunity for us to get to know each other, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I invented this game, got it printed, created cards, and like a spin wheel, like a twister wheel. I wish I could show it to you, but we went to one of my favorite bars out here. It was Bollywood night. So we played this, got drunk. Since it was a drinking game, we got hammered. We all dressed up like sexy euphoria characters. So, like those colorful eyes, colorful, skimpy outfits. So much fun. And that weekend will also mark as one of the best parties of my life. We didn't do much. It was just a simple girls' night. We just got drunk and I don't know, clicked pictures with strangers. Did really weird tasks because I put in really weird tasks. But yeah, it turned out to be a very, very fun event. And I organized it all by myself. Now that we've established that I'm on this other side of 20s, the older 20s, or what do you call it? Early 20s and late 20s. 26 is late 20s, and it's going to get more late, and then I'll turn 30. Damn it. But anyway, if you are on the other side of 20s, I'm talking about the early 20s, let me know if you have been approached by anyone asking you, what are your plans for marriage? Okay. Or maybe like, do you have somebody in mind? Do you have someone in your life? Because I remember when I was like 22, 23, even 24 for that matter, I was not asked about marriage that much. I had elder sisters getting married. I knew people who were getting married. But the conversation about marriage had still not reached my ears, and I was very happy. But the moment I turned 25, that was last year, there was this new group of people approaching me. And I'm not talking about strangers, I'm talking about people I know, approaching me, asking me if I am thinking about marriage. Am I getting married anytime soon, What's the deal with you, Rosh? Tell me. You are in your marrying age. Oh, damn. Let me tell you about this one incident that happened with me. So right now, currently, I think half of all my cousin sisters have gotten married. And I have a lot of cousin sisters. Brothers, very less, but cousin sisters, a lot. All my brothers are actually younger to me. So they are still safe. So I am the youngest of all my cousin sisters. And by far, I think from my mother's side, from my father's side, a lot of my sisters have gotten married. But the conversation of marriage came to me after I turned 25. I was at my sister's wedding, and suddenly I saw these uncles and aunties coming to me, asking me about my plans in marriage, asking me if I have someone in my life. And I was like, no, I don't. I don't know. I don't know about marriage. Nobody's asked me about this yet. So I was like, no. Living in Bombay makes it so difficult for you to manage thandi. I'm literally sitting in 25 degrees right now, which is actually supposed to be hot, but it's really cold for me. Anyway, so I have one of my uncles come and ask me about marriage. He asks me, the same old questions. Are you ready for marriage? Are you thinking of it? When would you get married? And like, do you have somebody in your life? And I just say the same thing to everyone. And I told him that I don't know if I'm ready for marriage yet. I am not able to handle myself. I need to get to know myself first, and then we will think about marriage. At this point in my life, I am really trying to understand who I am. And it is a very, very lengthy and difficult process to get to know yourself. And in this whole thing, I am being bombarded with this whole marriage question. And it made me think, because this uncle of mine started explaining to me how I am running out of time, how my biological clock is ticking, and I must get married before I turn 30. Because he made sense, and I'll explain it to you. So according to what he said, if you get married now, you will have kids, say, by 28. Okay? You have kids by 28. So by the time you turn 48, that is 20 years from now, your kid will be 20 and independent, starting their own life, doing their own thing, taking care of themselves. And then at the age of 48, you can chill, enjoy your life, and do whatever you feel like. My question here is, why the hell am I waiting till I turn 50 to enjoy my life, when I can enjoy my life right now, when my back is not hurting and my knees are not hurting, and I am looking, and I look like this. I look great. I don't want to turn 50 and then, do my kitty parties with other aunties in a club. वो भी कर सकते हैं. I mean, I'm not saying I won't. But what about now? Why can't I enjoy my life now? I don't want to shame marriage in any way, because personally, I really respect and love the institution of marriage. I feel like it is a commitment. It is compromise. It is teamwork. It is a huge responsibility. And if anyone is getting into it, you should get into it with all these things in your mind. I feel like people get married because they're in love. A lot of people fall in love, but not all marriages work. Love is not everything. Love is the beginning, the reason why a relationship has started. But it's just like the initial thing, it's like the first gear. Then you have to accelerate, you need to shift into a next gear. I am not a good driver. Anyway, so love is the first gear. And then if you want to go faster, if you want the car to work smoothly, you need to shift into a different gear. And then again, a different gear. So love begins in marriage. But once you get into it, you need to start getting used to seeing each other every day. Literally, as soon as you wake up, you need to get used to living, sharing responsibilities, sharing finances. It's a huge thing. Getting used to each other's families also. There are just so many factors that play in when you get married. And if you don't think you're prepared for that, if you don't think you're prepared to take on that role of a wife or a husband yet, then I don't think you're prepared for marriage. I personally am not. Even though I don't hate it and I want to get married eventually, for now, no thanks, nahi chahiye, maybe some other time. Women take on a lot of roles, and by the time they actually get the freedom to get to know themselves, it's too late. Now, men, you get married and you're bound by your marriage, your husbands, for a bit. And then, you take time to get used to each other. But after that, the man can actually work on his own individuality, he can work on himself. But the woman, after marriage, as soon as she's trying to get to know herself, maybe a child comes into the picture, and then another child, and then she becomes a mother, and then she needs to do her motherly duties, and then grandmother, then that duty. And then by the time she reaches an age where she can finally figure herself out, it's too late. I mean, it's never too late, but it's too much time. And I believe that not just women, but also men are influenced by society, by what people think and what people expect out of you, and then you become that person eventually. Let me make sense here. So I talk to all my girlfriends, and they are very serious about marriage. They are talking about marriage like it's a very, very normal thing. And they've all given themselves a deadline ki 30 ke pehle I have to get married. Or 30 is my deadline. I have to get married max by 29 and not later than that. But I also realized when I spoke to my guy friends, the same thing happens. They are like 30 ke pehle to karna hai bhai. 30 is my deadline, not later than that. What happens to you after 30? You're not thrown into a pit if you don't get married. 30s are really cool and really fun, but I feel like it's just something the society has embedded into our heads. And not just in India. I was stupid enough to think that it's an Indian mentality, and only in India this happens, that you need to get married before 30. But it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's a worldwide thing. Okay. Nahi bol sakti wo word, it's fine. I was watching this video the other day where they were talking about the fear of turning 30 and the pressure we put on ourselves because of that. So we imagine that before we are 30, we are accomplished career-wise. We find the love of our life, we get married, and we have kids by the time we turn 30. And actually, in reality, once you come in your 20s, you realize that is not possible. It is not so easy. Marriage is possible, but maybe you can't find your love. Maybe you're not even what is wrong with me today? Maybe you're not even accomplished in your life, and this whole dream that you've created for yourself, this whole perfect world fantasy you've created or you've been told about, doesn't happen. And it bothers you. It puts you under a lot of stress. And that is why you think, at least this one thing, at least I can get married to someone before I'm 30 and check that off my box. And that is why you feel like you want to get married. Now, let's reel back to why we have these thoughts put into our head. So I went into the whole psychological part of it, and I realized that our whole life, till we turn 20, we are influenced by someone or the other. We come into this world, we are born, and since then till we enter school, to some extent, we are influenced by our family. So our family values, traditions, the way they speak, the languages they speak, how they talk to each other, everything influences us. Maybe we are not in maybe we are not that smart to actually react or say something, but we absorb everything like a sponge. So by that time we reach school, we go into list, like say your sixth grade, okay? And sixth grade, may you start exploring. You meet new people, you meet your friends, and then you want to be with your friends, and then you become what your friends are, the people you hang out with, the conversations you have, the places you go, the things you do together, that shapes you as a person. And that is why your family starts having issues with you in that period, and you start having issues with your family because now you've completely changed. The child you used to be under their influence is not the same anymore because you've been influenced by other people, and now you've become this new person. You start rebelling, you start growing up, you start making mistakes and learn from it. You mess around, you have fun, and then you go into college. And once you move into college, the world actually becomes a lot more bigger than school. Because I remember I didn't even leave my area till I reached college. Everything I did with my friends was in my area, not outside this. When I went to college, my radius expanded, and I met new people from different walks of life, and I learned new things, and I rebelled even more, even like distancing you even more from your family and their values. You become this different person. Now you're influenced by them. And in this period, you start picking up on a lot of habits, good or bad. Probably you start, drinking, smoking. There are worse things. You want to go out and dance and party, feel like an adult. You do all these things. You don't even know if you want to do it or not, but just because everybody else is doing, you do it. It's a pressure that you feel. Okay? Now, not just that. Now, abhi jo bhi karo, you're coming back home anyway. So your family and the people around you start putting in your head, by 25, you're going to have this amazing life. By 25, you're going to have the dream job. You'll have money to spend. You will be allowed to go wherever you want and do whatever you want. You are independent, you're strong, and you're accomplished. And you will find the love of your life around this time, and you will get married. And everything will happen exactly in this way, perfectly. Okay? You hear this, you not just hear this, you see this. All the love songs, all the movies, all the shows you watch, they talk about this dream life, this perfect world where everything happens on time. And it's in your head. By the time you reach the age of 20, you have been influenced by family, by friends, and by any and everybody else around you. Even the pop culture plays a huge role in this. You have become this person who is actually a mixture of everyone. You still don't know who you are. Once you turn 20, I'm just giving 20 as a bar, okay? It can be any age for anyone. It can be 21, it can be 18, but it's an age of realization depending on what speed you're going at in life. So say at 20, you finished all your studies and all, and you get a job. Now you're working. All those we all, not just we all, I I used to talk to my friends in college, and I was like, we'll meet every day, every day. We'll spend time together, we'll do everything together, we'll plan weekend stuff, we'll go on a trip every 3-4 months and all, and nothing happens, nothing ever. Even the personal goals you set for yourself at that point stop making sense a few years after that. Because once you start working, you will realize that I don't have time to meet my friends, or they don't have time to meet me. We cannot come to the same place at the same time on this day. It's very difficult. Making plans, very difficult. Doing things that you wanted to do in your 20s doesn't happen. Those trips might happen like once in a year, once in 2 years, and they don't even feel so good. You can't even drink so much, you can't even drink so much. You get hungover, so many problems. Your reality starts catching up with you, and then you are in the now. You don't plan your future. You're not looking at your future as something that happens a few years later. You're already in it. You're already in your 20s. You're already there. This realization, this hit of reality forces you to think, to question yourself, question everything in life. Because when you start seeing all these problems stack up, you don't meet your friends anymore. You feel alone. And you've not had the time to actually build a relationship with yourself. You've not had the time to actually talk to yourself or see what you like, what you want to do. Are you actually happy with your job? Are you actually happy in this relationship? Is this where you want to be? Everything is questioned here, in my head, in your head. This happened to me, and that is why I'm talking about this, because I realized that it's just not me. It's a lot of my friends have gone through the same issue. Because you've never had the chance to think for yourself. You were thinking for your friends or your family, and all the decisions you made was all just because of the influence. And now you've reached a point where you can actually think, you have the quiet time, and now you feel alone in your head. And then you have quarter life crisis. You've heard of midlife crisis, right? And you know that it makes sense. But why does quarter life crisis make sense? Why would somebody in their 20s have issues? You're in the prime of your life. It's because till now, you've not had the chance to even know who you are. And at this age, you start getting to know yourself, digging up your insecurities, digging up all these things that have been just beneath the surface for so long that you kind of reach a moment of crisis. Now, every single person has a different way of dealing with these crises. Some people might take some time to get over it. I took a lot of time. I had multiple breakdowns till I could reach a point of accepting myself. I accept myself now. I have spent so many years questioning, why the hell am I with these people? Why the hell am I trying to make them happy? Why am I even dating this guy? I don't even like him that much, Now I've come to a point where I am learning to accept myself, but it's not 100% done. It's an ongoing process. And I realized that I am not where I wanted to be at the age of 25, because I really glorified the age of 25 so much when I was like 16. And I thought by the time I'm 25, I'm all the good stuff. It doesn't happen. It hits you, and it hits you hard. And that is why you reach this point of quarter life crisis. And that is why you feel like you need to achieve everything before 30. Because it's all the influence. It's all the influence you've been under for so long. And it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It is something that happens to everyone. It happens to us. It's happened to our parents, but our parents were not in a situation to probably act on those issues or act on those emotions. So they just suppressed it, and they are who they are. But because we get so much freedom to express our emotions, these things come up. And maybe for our kids, it might get a little more difficult than that. I just hope I don't put this kind of pressure on my kids. I just hope I don't influence my kids to such an extent that they start questioning themselves as a person. But it will still happen. It's something you can't avoid. So that is why I feel like we are subconsciously pressured into getting married before the age of 30. And this is a universal scenario. This is something that happens to every single person. But now, on the other hand, I want us to concentrate on ourselves, on the me, the I part of this. How do you expect somebody to love you, accept you, and know you if you don't know yourself? How do you get into such a serious thing without actually knowing yourself? Quarter life crisis is no joke. I feel like it's very important for us to understand ourselves. It's very painful, to be honest, but it is something that everybody needs to go through. Fine, I did not get that dream job. Fine, I am not the editor of Vogue. Fine, I am not a celebrity yet. But that's okay. It's okay. At least you know what you're working towards. At least you know what you like. At least you know what makes you happy and what or who doesn't. The moment you find out what works for you and who you are, life gets 10 times easier. I don't want you to think of what happens next if it works out or not. But in that moment, if you feel you are happy with yourself and you are happy with this person and everything feels right, doesn't have to be ideal, it just has to feel right, and that spark in your head goes ding, go for it. I'm really waiting for it, and I know it sounds very filmy, but I am just waiting for that right person who makes my heart go ding, and I will go for it. To reach that point is not easy. To reach a point of self-love and self-acceptance is not easy. It's an uphill battle, and you will have to keep working and walking towards that goal. Marriage for me is not just a milestone. I want to get married when I know I want to get married. I want to get married with the right person. I want to share those years of my life with someone that I know and I believe will make those years easy, livable. It's another phase in your life. It's starting a new phase. But don't treat it like something that has to be done. Some people don't even like marriage. Some people don't even believe in it. And if you don't let people force you to do something that you are not ready for. Would you wear a skimpy, tiny dress if you don't think you'll feel comfortable in it? You wouldn't. If you like to dress up in a t-shirt and jeans, and if somebody is telling you to wear a micro mini skirt, would you wear it? If you wear it, you'll never be comfortable in it. If you don't wear it, if you just go for your jeans, you'll not look the best, but you'll still be very comfortable. And one day you might reach a point that you will wear that tiny skirt and you will love yourself in it. But isn't it beautiful to reach that point when you love yourself in that skirt? Just like that. If you get into marriage when you know it's right, you will cherish every second. You will cherish every moment of your married life. You might think why I chose marriage as the first topic of my podcast. It's not because I wanted to talk about something really serious and controversial. It's because I felt like every person listening to this has at one time thought about marriage. Every person has at one time been asked about marriage. And if not, if you're too young to be asked about it, wait for it. Wait for it, you will be asked for sure. And it is something that has become a very common topic in my friend circle because everybody's getting married and everyone's asking me also. So I just thought I'll talk about it today. Anyway, I have been talking about this for way too long. And I really hope it made some kind of sense and you had something to pick out of it. I just want everybody to truly enjoy their life, enjoy themselves, and treat life as a journey, not a task. It's supposed to be enjoyed. It's supposed to be tasted every step of the way and not wasted. So enjoy. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me or watching me if you're watching me on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Blahber Podcast. Feel free to talk to me because we are friends now. And I'll be here to see you every single week. Love you. Bye-bye.